or need. I push my mind past belonging. I'm finding out the more I read. These pages hold all that I need to see.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all spiffing good, guys, because I certainly am. You were treated to Only God Knew off the new EP, I Reason I by Myrrh. Now, speaking of one of the three gifts given to the little baby Jesus, I mean, this man is certainly a gift to my life and everything else that's going on. That was supposed to be a segue, guys, because I'm chatting to Myrrh right now. So I want to welcome Myrrh. I'll give him your warm round of silent applause because I've got James from Myrrh here with me, and he's sounding pretty good.
You know how to butter them up, don't you? That was good. I'm feeling really welcome.
That's it. Slap on the old butter, oil her up, get your fry pan out. Let's
Merry Christmas.
I mean, you are certainly a king, James. This album is royalty. The album EP. This EP is absolutely royal and loaded with regal tracks of depth and gravitas. Yeah, enough.
Man, your vocabulary is getting a workout right now, isn't it? I appreciate it.
This is the only time I get to practice that, so you better be thankful.
I am. Thank you. Very kind words indeed. I appreciate it.
Anyway, enough with the niceties. Welcome to the show. Good stuff. Thanks, with man. The EP. It's really cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
How have things been since the release? Because have you been really busy, or has it been surprisingly relaxing?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's up and down. From what I've heard from other people who have done this, that it's kind of like it's a mixed bag of emotions. And this being my first release, it's definitely been true for me. I think, what I was most excited about the release was like the shows that I got to play with my band for them. So that obviously was a lot of work and sometimes quite stressful, but they turned out great. The release itself was super chill. I don't know. I think like I woke up the morning that the first single came out, and it was just like a bit of like almost a numb feeling. Hey, like to open Spotify and see like myself there, this thing that I'd been like, dreaming on since I was like a kid, and then like working on for however long. It was just like it was a bit odd, but it's great. I'm loving it.
I know you. That looks familiar.
Yeah, who is this? Who's this character?
The bastard that hasn't cut his hair yet.
Yeah, that's it.
It's funny, we're talking about...
Go get a real job.
Yes. Go join the Navy like a good little boy.
That's it.
we were talking about the Navy before, folks. Not because we're both fans of the Village People, but
No.
I mean, are you a fan of the Village People? Do you like a bit of Macho
great.
Man?
Yeah. I mean, I'll cop it. Okay, if that's what you see when you look at me.
if you were going to dress, if you were going to be like the Village People and dress up in a profession, what would you dress up as?
Well, like, how serious are we? Like, is this like, if I dress up as a cop, would I actually look like a cop, or would it be really clear that I'm not a cop?
There's a trick you can do where you can tie your hair up in a ball. Oh, wait, you're a hipster. You probably know about this. The man bun.
Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to describe a man bun to a hipster. That thing with the hair.
Are you kidding me, mate? I own hair ties. I don't need you to talk me through that. I know how that works.
No, you put it in a man bun and you pop the cap on, and it looks like you're bald because you don't.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, in that case, maybe I would go as a police officer.
And police the stage.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Lay down the law.
So that's too much tongue in that kissing. That's a fight for you. I remember I dressed up as like a school teacher at one dress-up party, and I was going around and I had like fake detention slips.
Oh, brilliant.
And then I was like, every time somebody spilt a drink, I'd be like, detention.
Yeah, no, good. That's
and
then
if I saw somebody kissing, I'd be like, that's it, go to detention. And I was just being an ass.
I feel like half of was this for a Halloween party or just like a random?
Oh, this is like a uni sort of dress up function. So I had heaps of people that we were living with at the time. This is when I was living on campus. So it was like heaps
I feel like half of the outfit is like the facade that comes along with it, like the act that comes along with it, the character.
It was the... sorry, keep going. Yeah. Yeah, because you were saying about how it's like the facade of the character.
Yeah, totally, yeah. It sounds like you owned it.
Yeah, it was the only time, because they always had at these parties that they did a competition, like the guys that were running it would pick 5 of the best, and then they'd vote on who won best costume. It was the only time I ever got nominated as one of the 5 finalists. So I think I did a pretty convincing teacher. Well done. Yes. Well done. Yeah, I slicked my hair back, put like fake glasses on and everything. Wore the tie, wore the polo shirt and the tie, like a teacher from the 70s.
I'm not having pleasant flashbacks right now. School was not a good time for me.
Here comes the leather, folks. I thought corporal punishment was banned. Not in this school.
I did not expect to go there this quick with you, my friends, but here we are in front of all of your beautiful viewers.
Viewers?
My word.
I didn't realise we were a TV show.
I've had my camera on this whole time.
Oh. Okay. Surprise. Wait, is that what that is in the corner? I thought it was just a smoke alarm. It's actually a camera.
Yes, I had it installed especially for this interview. It's like going great, by the way.
Thank you. It's it's like that old TV show where they're like, "Oh, this has been a prank." Like they'll put them in some serious situation, and at the end they'll be like, "Oh, guys, it's a prank." And they'll be like, "Out comes the camera crew." Yeah, that's what this is like. Right. But you've done it to me, whereas it normally would be me doing it to others. Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, you
Ashton Kutcher is in the room over, man.
You pulled the real reverse card on me.
I really did.
I wasn't expecting to play Uno today.
Yeah, there you go. But I got you.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to dwell on something you said just there before. You mentioned about putting on a facade, or with costumes, half of it's the effort you put into it, and the as you say, the facade you sort of show. So what I wanted to know is, with your performances and that, do you tend to try and put on a face, like metaphorically speaking? Do you try and emit a certain energy when on stage that might be different to what you're like just in regular real life? Right. Yeah, man, that's a good question. It's funny. We played the EP launch at my favorite Brisbane venue ever on Saturday, Black Bear Lodge. And there was this moment in the set where, for whatever reason, I just kind of diverted to this very ochre personality that just comes out sometimes. And it was in the name of banter, in the name of smoothing over the transition between 2 songs or whatever. And I said to everybody in the room, I was like, I don't know where this came from. And I'm not sure that it's completely on brand for this project, but here we are doing it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think, I'm very
like as a person, quite extroverted in nature and has a very polarizing personality. Like you either don't want to bloody buy me, or I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And so I think I lean into that a lot when I'm performing, and I don't know, like it's that whole, it's like you want to be authentic in the art that you're putting out. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing because, like I'll play a song about something really sad that happened to me and then like straight into the banter. And I don't know. I don't know what my persona is, you know. I think I'm still coming into it, you know, having only played 2 shows as Myrrh. So yeah, maybe it'll be refined over the next couple of months, and check in with me then. It'll
be interesting to see it develop, because you said that Myrrh, I suppose that's the risk you run when you come up with this name, you know, because you said you've had the name in for a while now. Before, when we were chatting before, you said the name's been around for a few years, but you've only really started developing it in the last year or so. So what I wanted to know was, what were you doing at the time that you started to think about this project?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I like kind of realized that music was the thing that I should give time to, like in the maybe last 3-4 years of high school. So I think like there was like a very like childlike wonder and like vision and dream kind of there. But it was just, that just looks like me, like sitting in my room, like writing songs and making what I thought sounded cool noises, and like on my guitar, and you know, like whatever instruments I acquired over the years. So
how many neighbours did you piss off making interesting noises?
It's just my poor roommates. Hey, like I've been living in share houses since I was like maybe 17.
Yeah,
and I just like, you know, like I'll meet them and I'll be like, yeah, sick, I'll move in at this date, I'll start paying rent from this date. And then like the day I move in, I like bring 2 drum kits with me, and I'm like loading into the living room with like 12 freaking guitars and like 2.5 PAs. And they're like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? So yeah, it's not the neighbours. I feel like it's the roommates that I like need a lot of grace from.
Do you tend to find they get angrier the more you stay with them? Is that what happens? They tend to.
Well, I think I found the sweet spot. Like the guys I live with now are so forbearing, but I was just like so clear with them when we were looking at moving in together. Just so you know, this is what I do all bloody week. It's very noisy, and because I have like a space at home that we rehearse in. Yeah, and it's brilliant. I love it. But yeah, I think that's just a part of like who I am, I guess, in a sense. Like that's kind of like what I do with my time. And so if you want to live with me, that's good to put up with.
That's fair. I was going to say, have you played in many bands where you haven't really fronted in the meantime?
Yeah, dude, heaps. Yeah, like I really, really quite enjoy, or have enjoyed anyway, working with people that haven't had like a full like set.
Yeah.
They're like, I've got this passion, I've got this like these couple of songs and they're good, and I just like don't know how to make a convincing and like appealing live show. So I worked with like an artist called Azura, who's now in Melbourne. I worked with a Brisbane artist named Emily Colson. I worked with a good friend of mine called Lucinda R. And just like kind of took these songs that were like quite stripped back, kind of like very chill, like demos with maybe like a vocal and a keyboard or a vocal and a guitar, and would like write parts for the whole band. And then, do as many shows as we can for those projects. And I flipping love that, because I don't know, like I could be invested without being like fully invested because it wasn't my project. And just seeing it go from like this space of like, oh, it's just like you in your bedroom with an acoustic guitar, to this like 4-piece band, and we're like all really proud of it, was really fun. So I did heaps of that like since graduating high school. Like I've done a lot of music directing work. I've done a lot of like session work with like really great Brisbane acts, and like a few from Melbourne too. So yeah, that's kind of like what was the precursor for like Myrrh being a thing. Like I'm forever writing, I'm forever like producing ideas and like working on stuff. But like I said, the lockdown just like really gave me heaps of time to finally churn out 6 songs that I'm really stoked with.
I was going to say, because we were mentioning this before off air, we mentioned a lot of stuff off air, guys, just FYI. a lot of it was not. Don't worry, most of it was not worth saving. I can tell you. But you did mention though that the lockdown was sort of, as you say, that sort of trigger for it, which is a bit surprising, and we sort of both agreed on that. So was it something you were sort of planning on doing this year, and then it sort of got sped up by what happened, or was it a case of you had totally different plans for this year, and then you got curb stomped by the pandemic?
Curb stomped by the pandemic is a really good way of putting it. Because I think like my original plan was to have this EP out around March earlier this year, and obviously that's when it all started hitting the fan. So I had, I think, like 3 songs mixed, and was just waiting on the mix back from 2 more, and then send it off to mastering and kind of go from there. But like the lockdown gave me the ability to be like more particular than what I was going to with like mix and like production stuff. So I got everything sitting exactly how I wanted, and was like able to put it out and be like really proud of it. I was able to like get like a really polished product for like the singles film clips or Redda's film clips, and get like a lot of just like little fiddly admin-y stuff, like sorting out PR and like scheduling social media and like all of those things. Like there's so much about music I've learned that like, and like doing it as like a professional pursuit that doesn't have anything to do with music. And I think if it went to plan, I would have been like hit like a ton of bricks with like that workload as an independent artist, and would have just drowned a little bit. But because it was like chill, no one was working, you know, like no one could like really do anything. It was like at like this really smooth pace, and it just felt like really relaxed sort of thing. But yeah, sometimes my plans aren't in my best interest, you know, and I've just got to let it go anyway. So,
are you one of those people that tends to overestimate how much you can do?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, but definitely I bite off more than I can chew, and then I get sad when I can't chew it, you know. So it's that, like, you just got to take it as it comes. So
I mean, then with the EP, was it a case of, was the EP going to be bigger and more, you know, expansive than it ended up being? Is that like, so does that attitude, not the attitude, but that mindset, did it end up, you know, reflecting on the EP in any way? Or was it, in this case, did you actually manage to nail it, get everything you wanted to get done?
Do you mean to say like sonically or like musically?
Well, I guess both, you know, like however I guess you want to interpret it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that like the EP feels big to me. Like there's a lot of, it's very like my music taste circa 2012. Like it's very like like Last Dinosaurs, like pop. There's like pop punk influence in there, like big guitars, big drums. So I feel like it's big, it's wide, it's like it's sparse. Tastefully, I think so. Anyway, it's more like my approach to doing the artistry thing, to like my online presence, to like my stage presence, to like my thoughts and my mental processing around like what to do with the project just feels more relaxed, because I've kind of had practice through COVID to just like be a bit more chill about it, and not like give it effort and do it well, but like not hold so tightly to like these ideals about what everything has to look like, every single detail, you know? And it's been like really quite freeing, I think.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about that recording process. So did you play everything on there?
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like, you can tell you're a drummer, because you've mentioned to me a couple of times since we've started chatting that you do play the drums quite a bit. So you can tell it's a lot of drums in there as well, and a lot of guitars. But yeah, the fact that you can play everything and still bring a lot of intricacies into the playing is really quite good.
Oh, thanks, man. That means heaps. Yeah, I think like from when I realized that music was like an important thing to me, I was always like really excited about like what in the context of a mix, like each instrument was like doing for one another, sort of thing. So like one of my favorite bands of all time was like Paramore, and their early work, I just like found like there was so much like intricacy between like what the drummer was saying and what like even just like the bassist was saying. And so I tried to like, just like I really frothed like like intricate kind of like interleaved like meaningful connections between instruments. This sounds so wanky, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It sounds impressive. That's the point. You don't bring up that it sounds wanky, then now people are going to not think. That's all people are going to think of. Oh, he's such a wanker. That James, Myrrh.
I'm very intelligent. Everything I just said was intelligent. Not a wanker at all. Never mind. Back to square one. Yeah. So I don't know. Like a lot these songs are like old, man. So when I had time to finally do something with the project, I kind of just took songs that were written like 3 or 4 years ago, even, and just like finally had the time to get them like sitting right. And I worked with like a really good mix engineer who was like freaking incredible, just like made everything sound like butter. Like
give him a shout out.
Amazing. Oh, really? His name's Mike Gabriel, and he's just a genius. He's like a local Brisbane mix engineer, one of my favorite people in the industry here. He's just and I feel like he's unsung. Like he worked in like studios over in London and like other places in Europe for ages, and like his work is just incredible.
So did you pick him out? It's like, I want him to do the mixing, or was it a case of like you sort of knew him beforehand?
Yeah, I was actually referred to him by a friend that I studied with who also went to him for some mix stuff. Yeah, and I don't know, it's always like a bit nerve-wracking working with someone new for the first time, and I didn't really know what to think going into it, but again, I just like had to kind of let go and be like, oh well, like we'll see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it definitely worked. Like he was just so encouraging and so particular and patient, and it was just, yeah, bloody dream. It was, yeah, amazing. Yeah. I love it.
So was it a case of you just rocked up to start working, or did you end up meeting him first and easing into it?
We had a chat on the phone, and that was kind of like, I think I knew from that conversation that it was like the right thing. You know, like when you just click with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I knew. And so like I sent him like the stems that I had, and we like re-recorded some guitar stuff and like did like a bunch of sample replacing for drums. And it just like, it came in this like really, really cohesive thing in the end, and I'm super happy with it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm guessing it sounds like that the quality of the mix, I mean, the mix is really good. Like, I'll give, like, good job, Mike.
I reckon.
But it certainly sounds like it's exceeded your expectations in terms of how it sounded.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a really polished thing for me. And I don't know, like if you showed this EP to me at 16, like as I was deciding that this is what I wanted to do, I would flip. Oh, like, yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And I have to like remind myself to get into that headspace and be like thankful, for where I am compared to where I was. Cause I don't know, there's temptation sometimes to be like, all right, it's out. Like, what's the next thing? And like, oh, I don't even know that this sound is cool anymore. And I don't know that it's even going to like do well. And I'm like, I'm changing and I'm growing and I'm moving on to new things. But I think there's a really beautiful, thing in just like being grateful for what you've achieved. And so, yeah, I'm trying to like rest in that headspace.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Was there anything that was there any point along the way of making the EP that you either got a piece of advice or somebody taught you something, or you found out something, you learnt something that you wouldn't have thought would have been important but ended up being central or, important, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a good question, actually. And I think like the best example of it would be the main single, Redder, which you mentioned you played a bit on the show.
Played on a previous episode. I can't remember which one. Go back and look at our RSS feed. I can't be fucked looking up the number. Yeah, sorry. Keep going. Disclaimer time, folks. Stopping me getting sued since 2012. After you, sir. No.
But that song kind of like the production process had this nice little lesson for me to learn in the middle of it, because the first chorus for that originally doesn't sound the way it does. And I kind of like got some advice from Mike as we were like churning it out. And he said, look, I think you might want to consider these changes sort of thing. And then like we mocked up a demo mix with those changes, and then kind of A/B tested it with what I originally had done. I was really attached to what I originally done, but everyone that I showed it to, I had like a group of like trusted friends who like I know want the best for me and also are like musically inclined and like can make, you know, like decisions and like, you know,
if you asked them to push
kinda,
you off a ledge, they'd go how hard, essentially.
Yeah. I can trust that like their advice is sound, and they all said that this revised version was better, and it was like, oh, sometimes I need to let go in the interest of serving the song. Like it's not like my ideas are good and it's like my artistic direction, but
he's just holding on to those ideas. That's okay. I can see what you're saying.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got to let go sometimes. Sometimes you are not where the buck stops, and that's fine. So it was like an exercise in humility. And I'm so glad I did, because like I like recently went back and listened to the original demo. I was like, oh, I'm so glad we changed this, because like this serves the song so much better.
Yeah. What was, if you don't mind me asking, what was the change specifically?
Yeah, so in that first chorus of Redder, there's like, it just drops to like this like 808 and like falsetto vocals. And originally there was like a lot more guitars in there. There was like a lot more like layered synths and a lot more layered vocals. And I was like, this is dope. Like I love layers. I love like I said, like intricate,
real Shrek moment there, folks.
Stuff. Yeah, that's it. I love onions, man. Love them.
Songs have layers.
They do. That's my whole philosophy. It's based off a Pixar film. Anyway. But he was just like, man, strip it back, give it space, like let it breathe, let it grow. And I'm so glad we did, because it's like, it's one of my favorite moments on the EP now. Yeah,
because that was one of the things I think that I observed when I first listened to it a little while back. It was, oh, this has got really good dynamics. So it was because I was like, oh, there's like that sort of soft bit goes soft where you're not quite expecting it, and then it goes hard. Like it makes a song. And I've said this before. I think I said it 2 weeks ago on the episode, or like last week. I can't remember. I say a lot of things. Have you guessed? It was the fact that I said you can get a 4 minute song, add a shitload of dynamics, kind of loud soft bits, and it sounds longer than it actually is. And Redder is, and I'm looking it up now, folks. It is only 4 minutes, almost bang on 4 minutes, and yet it sounds like a 6 minute song, which, you know.
Yeah. Because it's like a journey.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was missing. I was just like, throw everything I have straight away. At like everything I've got, every idea. There was like this point where there was like 3 Wurlitzer layers in there. It was just like so unnecessary. It's like, I've got to learn to scale. You see what I mean? Like this personality that I have is polarizing, because sometimes I'm just a bit much. And so you got to learn to dial it back, you know?
3 whirlies.
The taste. Yeah, it was dumb. It was so dumb. Like, it was beautiful, but it was like, I'm going to
still not let it go.
There's so much noise.
Fuck, you have to make a noise rock record.
Yeah, ooh, maybe.
Furiously makes noise. That's next, folks. I think we just predicted what you're doing for next year. You told me before, folks. He goes, don't ask me what's happening next year. I don't know. He's making a noise rock record.
So maybe it is. I'm very impressionable. Maybe I'll just do it, because you said. Can we start a poll? Can we ask everybody?
Can we do it? Oh, I'll put up a Facebook poll this week.
All right. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 people will vote, and I'll do whatever they want.
I'm going to rig the votes. I'm going to get all the co-hosts to say yes.
Into it. All right.
So we're basically forcing you. It's like the equivalent of rigging the election, so to speak.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it if it's in the name of progress, you know?
Hey, yeah, exactly. Joe Biden, this is how you rig an election.
Very good. Take a leaf out of his book. Brilliant. Bloody hell.
I was going to say, how has the reception been since you've released it, though? Has it surprised you in any way?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't really know what to compare it against.
Were you expecting a different response?
Well, like in terms of,
I know. What did you sort of anticipate what people would say about it, and then they come out with different feedback that was I mean, it doesn't have to be negative, obviously. I hope it was positive feedback.
I've got a lot of positive feedback, and I think like I don't know, it's always interesting to hear like what everyone's favorite song is, I think. So that's been cool, and just like and understanding why or people. I've really loved hearing from friends who like I've shown demos throughout the years, and then going, "Oh, I remember when the song sounded like this," and that's been really nice. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm learning overall. You know, first time I've ever done a release, so I don't know how these things go, and I think it's been net positive. Yeah. No, it's been good.
That's cool. I was going to say, because we mentioned before how you played all the instruments on the record. Did you end up having to learn to learn how to play the instruments at all for it, or were you already playing bass and guitar and drums for quite a while?
I feel like bassists who are listening are about to have like a heart attack and turn the show off. But I feel like bass and guitar are close enough that you like as a guitarist you can get away.
Hear the groans in the background already.
Yeah, I can hear them. I know. But you understand, it's like it's all the same notes, it's all the same layout.
It's all strings.
Like, you know what I mean. Like it's right hand technique. So that was like pretty interchangeable. But there's a lot of like synth bass on the record anyway. That was like played in, and then like you can quantize once that's in the box. Keys was the most difficult thing for me because like I had no experience with that, so I would just like spend a lot of time
stabbing the C key with a drumstick. Is this how it works?
That's it.
I was told piano was a percussion instrument.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a learning curve, and like my like I can drum, but my drumming chops aren't like it's not my primary instrument, right? Like I've toured as a drummer, but there's like some stuff on there that was like difficult to get out. And that's where like the sample replacing came in. I'm really lucky
that that's not easy to admit that like there are some shortcomings still. So I mean that's
totally
pretty.
Yeah, man. I think like producing music and playing music are two different things. And I think it's okay to be like, you know what, I'm actually like not physically able because of my skill level at the moment to play what is happening in my head. And if I can like again, serve that song so that it's like a good piece of art using a computer, I will. And I don't really have any shame in that because I think that in and of itself is a skill. But
I'm
sort
really
of that
vestige, especially of people that are more in the rock genres. There is sort of this vestige, I think, saying, "Oh, computers are not real music."
Totally.
But you come from an angle of that. It's like it's an instrument. It's something that can add something that you wouldn't be able to otherwise do.
Totally, yeah. And when we play live, I'm playing with dudes who can do it. Like my drummer is a freaking weapon and like one of my closest mates. So it's like it's a dream to be playing with him because he's got like he can do all of that like in his sleep sort of thing. So like when the music is being enjoyed in a live context, like it's the real thing, and we don't we're not running parts that are too difficult in tracks or anything like that, But I don't know. In my mind, it's justifiable, and it's like all of the artists that I model this project after, the ones that I grew up listening to and adore their sound and adore that project and that brand, all do it that way anyway. So I'm like, if they can, I bloody can. So whatever.
Because you mentioned before that a lot of the songs you wrote quite a while back, even a few years ago. So have you found that the songs you're writing now, and I guess recently, I mean, I don't know how productive you've been writing-wise this year. But
while you're asking.
Oh, okay. There we
Definitely.
go. That's good. At least you've done something this year. Have you found that there's been a bit of a different style that you're putting these new songs in?
Yeah.
That was probably asked really badly. I just realized that probably didn't make sense. I'll reword that so everybody at home doesn't scratch their heads. Is the style that you're writing in now different than what it was when you first wrote the songs for the EP?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think like as I've grown and developed in my like musical taste, I think like you borrow influence from what you're listening to a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This EP is like the word that I use off the top of my head to describe it is like indie alternative, like pop rock, right? But I love blues, and I freaking love country, shoot me. And I love, like, I studied jazz, and I love pop, you know, like unashamedly listen to Taylor Swift, like not ironically. So I think, like,
I haven't listened to her last album, but apparently it was something. It was actually, like, even the indie crowd liked it. So I mean, yeah,
it's intelligent. You put Bon Iver on a record with anyone, and the hipsters love it. I think, like, she's found the key to success.
Well, he's the original bearded guy in a cabin. So I mean,
he bloody is.
Props to him.
Yeah, good on it, and he's still doing it, and he's still making coins. So good on him.
Money, that's not very hipster.
You're right. I'm hearing you on that. He probably just lives for beans or whatever. The hipsters eat beans.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right? But yeah, man. Like I listen to a lot, and I think as you grow, as you mature, you adapt, and so these days I write. I've written like folk songs that, like, in the EP launch, I like kind of busted out an acoustic guitar mid-set and did like a little folk song that I've written recently, which might not ever exist under the name Myrrh, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll give it to someone else. Like, I write like straight pop that doesn't have guitars in it at all. I've, you know, like there's R&B influence. I don't know. Like, I think like the thing for me now is like, I just want to write good songs, not necessarily conform to like a genre or a vibe. I want to write songs that people connect with, and so lyricism has become quite important to me recently, and like relatability. So yeah, that's kind of been the major change.
Are you thinking then that when you do put out your next release that it might be of a different style compared to what you've just put out?
I think it'll be like really clear that like James Rhodes was still responsible for writing it. But yeah, I think like it will be like a little departed from what this first EP was. And I think that's okay, because like I said, these songs were written 3-4 years ago. So if I was still putting out songs that were like in a similar vein, I don't know, have you grown at all, dude? Like, you know, like as a person, as a musician, like, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I think when I was younger listening to bands, like there was always that gut wrenching feeling when like my favorite band brought out a new record and it didn't sound anything like the last one. But like, it's just a part of growing up, I think.
Yeah, I think most people will find that they just get bored if they stick to the one style.
Totally, yeah. People grow, people change.
With so you said you played the two live shows. Is it something that you'd be hoping to do a bit more once everything opens up properly? I know you guys are pretty much having music for a little while now, but yeah, is it going to be? Are you hoping to get out and maybe tour a bit next year?
Yeah, I'd love to do a tour. I'm really like playing live is it's the favorite thing about music for me. Like writing's cool, but yeah, like what excites me the most is playing live. So yeah, super keen to look into that in the new year. I've kind of decided to take December as like an opportunity to like not think about it for a little bit, just like flipping relax after all of the work of putting it out. But yeah, really
slaving over this interview though, just saying.
Oh, but it's hard work.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, definitely in the new year, man.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It is, yeah, it's good to see that you got such a passion for it, though, and just seeing how you sort of go into that, what your mindset is in terms of going in and what you want to come out as an artist. So it's pretty cool to go into that. I want to talk a bit about, because we're going to play one of the tracks off the EP in a sec. But what I wanted to do firstly was, if you could just tell us where we can get the music, where we can listen to it, where we can find you and your socials.
For sure. Yeah. So you can just search Myrrh on Facebook, on Instagram, on Apple Music, on what's the other one? Spotify, YouTube. We've got like 2 film clips up there as well if you want to have a look. And it's spelled Myrrh. Yeah. So it's everywhere. It's on the internet. All the good places that music are. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook to keep up to date with what's happening.
That's it. Yeah. And I'm assuming when you do play some more shows, we will see the events and that up on your socials.
Absolutely. We're super on top of that.
Sweet. Now, we are going to play one of the songs. Now, this one hasn't been a single, has it? This is Stranger. We're going to play that in a sec. That one,
it was. We'd call it like a focus single because we didn't like put it out as its like own separate thing. But like when the EP released, it had a film clip, which was super fun to shoot. So yeah.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that actually with the film clip because I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen it yet. I will go and watch it later.
I would love you to do that. Yeah. I think it's great. So I worked with some really good friends of mine called Visual Safari Co, which is this like video production startup here in Brisbane, close friends of mine. And we took a day and it was all filmed in my home, which is, I don't think you'd be able to tell, because it looks great. They did a really, really good job. And yeah, just took a day, slammed it all together. Super fun. I had I say a friend of mine, but at the time I didn't really know her from a bar of soap. I just kind of like put a call out on Instagram chasing like a female actor with blonde hair, and this person responded, and yeah, like we became friends throughout the day. Olivia, her name is. Yeah.
Oh so no, you haven't forgotten, have you?
No, that's her name. Yeah.
So what did you say her name was?
Olivia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's great. But it was really fun because she was like, oh, what am I going to do? You know, like we're messaging about it. I was like, oh, not really much. Just kind of like sit around, look pensive, and wear all white, please. And I think I forgot to tell her that it was like a scene where she had to like fall backwards in slow motion onto a bed.
Yep.
Which you can see if you go. And so she was like, "You're kidding me? I don't know you, and now I'm falling onto a bed in your home, a home that I've never been in." Yeah, it was a really.
How do I know this bed isn't made of asbestos?
Exactly. She was like, she was telling me that like all her friends were like, oh, maybe just like text us every 15 minutes to make sure that it definitely is a video shoot and not like you're being abducted. And she wasn't abducted, which is great. I think that's a good result.
Well, win's a win, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it came together nicely. It was really fun to shoot. I love the crew that we worked with.
You probably embarrassed the poor girl. What's her Instagram handle so we can go and check her out?
I feel like I'm going to look it up right now.
Not to kidnap her. No. Just to like obviously check out her work.
Yeah. I don't think.
I feel sorry for her now.
This is a poor thing. It's Liv Salisbury _
Nice. Go and check it out. And just keep track of what else she's up to.
She does acting now in film clips if you need.
That's cool.
There you go. The career's starting. How good. But yeah, no, it was heaps of fun to shoot. Heaps of like really cool creative shots that the team dreamed up, and I think it captures kind of what I was trying to say with the song really well.
Yeah, nice. Go and check it out when you get a chance. I'll probably put it up on the page before the episode or something. So if it is up already, go and check it out.
It is.
Nice. Now, I guess we may as well play the song. Let's play it.
Get into it.
Nice. Now, James, tell us who you are and what you're about to listen, or what you good folks at home are about to listen to.
Yeah, I'm Myrrh, and you're about to hear my focus single of my debut EP called Stranger.
You're living worlds away. We talk, but it's not the same. I let love go astray. Took 6 months away to get it straight, and time got the best of me. You're far and there's few between. Seconds away from giving up. Same damn mistakes that got us lost. We're moving differently. You're up and I'm asleep. I'll say it's fine by me. I'm wearing you on my sleeve. getting into. Need a time so I could work it out. Guess I gotta go ahead and make you a stranger, a stranger. Never knowing anybody closer. I can only see it in my memory now. No, you gotta keep yourself away from strangers, strangers. And oh, how the tables turn, taking back all my words. I went and made it worse, and that's just the way I gotta learn. Remember when we were kids, we wouldn't have dreamt of this. I guess you don't know it when you're young, but that's what you get for growing up. We're moving differently. You're up and I'm asleep. I say it's fine by me, 'cause I forgot honesty. And I know it's cold out where you are, it's just as cold back here at home. There's a feeble dying spark under all this dirt and snow. And it's strange as we become something is holding on. Trace my fingers on these scars to remember what went wrong. And we were getting into. Need a time so I can work it out. Guess I gotta go ahead and make you a stranger, a stranger. Never knowing anybody closer. I can only see it in my memory now. No, you gotta keep yourself away from stranger, stranger. Never knew we were getting into. Need a time so I can work it out. Guess I gotta go ahead and make you a stranger, a stranger. Never knowing anybody closer. I can only see it in my memory now. No, you gotta keep yourself away from stranger, stranger. And I know it's cold out where you are, it's just as cold back here at home. There's a feeble dying spark under all this dirt and snow. And it's strange as we've become something is holding on. Trace my fingers on these scars to remember what went wrong.
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com